a little bit about me. I'm a certified financial planner, so I come from the traditional finance side. That being said, I have to give the disclosure, nothing I'm telling you can be taken as financial advice. Don't go buy anything because I mentioned it. Don't take what I say as financial advice. Please don't sue me. All of those things that would normally be on a legal disclosure. That looks exactly like me. Perfect. So, we want to talk a little bit about NFTs and how they fit a financial portfolio, which might seem a little strange because I feel like I'm in a room of kind of NFT, DeFi, degens and such, and we look at all this as kind of gambling. But what we've seen, because what I do normally is I've created a course to teach financial advisors about cryptocurrency, about DeFi, about NFTs, and whatever else people are investing in the non-custodial, in the decentralized world. And where many of you are in the NFT world, where you've probably seen tremendous growth in value. You might have some sort of process that you go through for buying your NFTs, for trading them, for looking at value. We've seen that already in crypto trading. We've seen that already in DeFi, in yield farming. People that have built up a tremendous amount of wealth. And because of that, because of especially NFTs, the collectible aspect, the art aspect, what we've seen is people, this is what's drawn in more of the masses, right? You've all seen this with collectibles like Top Shots, with so much of the art that you're looking at. We've seen people get into NFTs that have no idea how crypto works, really no idea how wallets work, but they've built up some sort of value. And then we have others that just go, look, I have other things to do. I don't want to focus on NFTs all day. I don't want to sit in Discords all day. I just want to invest a little bit of my money. How do I do it? And that's a little bit about what I'm going to be talking about today. So, first of all, there's kind of two different groups. There's a group where NFTs that have grown tremendous value in NFTs, that have gone from maybe a few $100s, a few $1,000s, $10,000, up to some life-changing amount of money. And that's when you're going, all right, do I need to diversify out of NFTs? And then there's a group, again, that's going, I look at this as part of my financial portfolio. I'm a young person. I like the NFT idea. I like collectibles. Where does that fit? And then we want to look a little bit into the future of NFTs. Some of the things we need to talk about, of course, are keeping your portfolio very safe. If this is something you're looking at as part of your finances, all the rest of your finances you try to keep safe. You try to keep your bank account safe. You try to keep your other crypto safe. Got to keep the NFTs safe as well. That's obviously a very big portion of this. From a purely financial advisor perspective, where do we look at NFTs? Where do we look at crypto and DeFi overall? For the most part, the rule of thumb, if you're new to the space, we say, look, we allocate 3 to 5% to crypto, to DeFi, to NFTs, whatever you want. And that's in a category that we call alts, or alternatives. Alternatives are stuff that is not stocks, it's not bonds, it's not the typical investments that most financial advisors would put you in. It's not the stuff you can get on E-Trade or anything like that. So this, from a technical perspective, fits into the alternative asset class category. And that's mainly because of the risk. When we talk about, of course, crypto and DeFi, those are highly, highly liquid. You all know that NFTs not quite as liquid, but there is a ready market. So now we want to talk a little bit about where we see NFTs now and where we see them going in the future. So those of you who have made a tremendous amount of value in NFTs, made a tremendous amount of money or a decent amount of money, now is maybe the time to start looking. Now that you see, of course, as of today, ETH prices moving up, NFT values down a little bit, now is kind of the time to go, what is my investment thesis around NFTs? And I know that most people in NFTs probably don't have an investment thesis. However, now's maybe the time. Now's maybe the time to look at a portfolio of NFTs and go, what is the price? How sure am I of this? Am I getting into NFTs that I really like the art, I really like the project, I'm going to be involved in the Discord and maybe moving the project forward, or I'm really going to listen in, or is it just something I'm buying because I think the price is going to go up and once it gets to a certain price I'm going to sell it. But it's really important. We've seen this, again, in just purely trading crypto. We've seen this in DeFi and yield farming, and now we're seeing it in NFTs. The number of people that bought, think everything's going to the moon, ride it all the way up, and then unfortunately have to ride it all the way down. if you have an idea in mind when I buy this, at what point am I going to get out, both on the upside and the downside, that will save you a whole lot of anxiety, a whole lot of sleepless nights, a whole lot of time that you spend checking OpenSea and Rarible and everything else. If you just go, here's my point I'm willing to get out, here's my point I'm willing to get out on the upside and the downside, and I know I will have, made some money or not lost too much money. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind, again, when you think of this as an investment. Another thing, as I mentioned, part of your investment thesis. Am I getting into this because I really believe in the project, I really like what they're doing and I want to be a part of it, or am I getting this strictly, for the upside? Am I getting this strictly because of I like the artist, but I think that at some point I'm going to sell? You have to keep that in mind. And then, of course, when you sell, and hopefully you've made a profit, what am I going to do with that money? Where is it going to fit? Is that going to go back into crypto? Is it going to go into more NFTs that fit my investment thesis? Those are some really important points. But what's really most exciting about what's happened in NFTs, and again, if this kind of bubble bursts, if the price comes down, it doesn't matter because we built this infrastructure. We understand now how to handle the custody portion. We're starting to make inroads there. We see more and more NFTs that are denoting some sort of ownership. I spoke with someone earlier today that's doing the whiskey cask via NFT. I've spoken with people, 4K is here, that's doing luxury items, Rolexes, luxury purses, collector's edition Nike shoes, and there's an NFT that represents that particular asset. That's where, to me, it's getting really exciting because we're getting beyond, not that I don't love art, but we're getting beyond the world of just digital art and into an NFT really denoting ownership, which as financial advisors and as anyone who's an investor, this is, again, where it gets extremely exciting because we're getting used to what custody looks like. We're getting used to that added liquidity that we didn't have before, that market that is worldwide, that is international, of someone that might buy this item. And as younger and younger investors are getting into, are earning money and getting into investment, they're going to see NFTs as a way that they can get into alternative assets, alternative asset classes that they never had access to. They can get into collector's whiskey, collecting scotch, collecting wine, collecting Rolexes. I would love to collect scotch. I don't think I would like the NFT so much. I would actually prefer to have the cask of scotch, quite honestly. So with that, we're moving forward in terms of the NFT collections. Of course, we're kind of in this bubble period, but we're moving the infrastructure forward. And again, the most exciting part is understanding how I can have some sort of investment thesis now around NFTs, how I can understand what I'm collecting, and most importantly, as you all have seen that a lot of the hacks recently, how I can keep my NFTs, keep essentially this asset that I own that has a tremendous amount of value that is now part of my investment portfolio. I want to be able to keep it safe. Remember, as I've said before, it's an alternative asset class. It's something that, for the most part, is separate from other investments if you're new to this. If you've been in this for a while, this is a majority of how you've grown your wealth, or a big part of it. You're going to be really good at what you do and have your own investment thesis, and you look at it as, this is my business. If I'm a financial advisor, I don't ask you to sell a part of your business to get into an S&P 500 fund. As a financial advisor, I wouldn't ask you to sell your NFTs to get into an S&P fund. You know your business a lot better. Make sure you have that investment thesis. Make sure everything's staying safe. And this is a really, really exciting time for you to think about NFTs as part of your investment portfolio. Thank you very much.